on a short notice. Just to introduce BSL, all the international brands having offices in India in lifestyle and apparel industry, like Walmart, Zara, all the international brands like Puma, Adidas, Nike, उनके जो brand heads and sourcing head हैं, वो इसके members हैं. जितने भी Indian brands हैं, वो large scale, like Raymond, Zivame, Aditya Birla, इनके brand heads and sourcing heads are members. So third category is the buying offices. So buying and sourcing offices होते हैं जैसे किसी brand को इंडिया में buying करनी है, rather going to individual manufacturer, they come to a sourcing company who does design to deliverance to logistics to quality. So this is the layman language. They do a lot of more activities. So उनके brand heads, sourcing heads are members. And fortunately, on the dais today, we have the biggest 5 buying offices of India with us. And we have one of the largest brands, Raymond's, also on the dais. We are doing this conference in Delhi, which is going to be in April 28 to 30th. तो हमारा purpose क्या है, हमारी सोच क्या है, हम ये क्यों कर रहे हैं? That is the whole initiative क्या होने वाला है, वही हमने explain करने के लिए we called you people because you are very important for spread the message what we want to do. So I'll request Sanjesh to explain you the whole summit, what we are trying to do.
Good afternoon, thank you, Raman. I'm Sanjay Shukla and proud to be associated with BSL as a founding member. So as Raman explained, BSL is an association that primary objective is to promote lifestyle and apparel exports from India globally. That is our primary objective. And the second objective is to reduce imports. So import substitution. And so all of these have been put together as something that we call our founding principle, which is Panch Pehel. So Panch Pehel principles define BSL. And in a short summary, when we look at exports, apparel exports having stagnated over the last few years, BSL's role is to act as a catalyst in the industry and to help the industry stakeholders, whether they are manufacturers or they are brands or they are sourcing and buying companies. So act as a catalyst to accelerate our export industry and our brand globalization. That is the primary objective. Today we are very well aligned with Shri Narendra Modi ji's policy of farm to foreign, because our Panch Pehel has all the necessary ingredients that helps the industry to reach where they need to be. Raman mentioned that we are having the Global Outreach Summit 2.0. Now this is going to be the first event in this calendar year which is going to celebrate the success of government efforts on FTA. The government has done a stellar job in getting these free trade agreements from several countries, I believe 29 countries now, 38 countries now. And it is up to us as industry professionals that how can we really accelerate this momentum. How can we work together to put our Panch Pehel principles forward and make sure that the industry in the next 2 years. So what we have put together is that a very realistic plan to say that in the next 2 years, at least $2 billion, which is around 18,000 crores of export trade, can be generated from our existing supply chain as well as new supply chains coming forward. So I think this event, the Global Outreach Summit 2.0, is going to be a true playground where almost participants from 20 plus countries are going to be there across the supply chain bandwidth, right from yarn to fabric, machine makers, manufacturers, Indian brands, global brands, all coming together like a potpourri of innovation in Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium. So we are very excited and our teams are really working extremely hard to make it a grand success, and without your participation and without your amplification of this event, we would stand nowhere. So I think that is the short summary of where we are today. And now I will ask Neeraj, he's the global brand and Indian brand leader whose again motto is to take Indian brands global. So Neeraj, over to you.
Thank you, Sanjay. And it's so true that entire globe is descending on India to do business, and thanks to the progressive policies of PM Modi and Commerce Minister and the Industrial Minister and the Textile Minister, you can see the entire world wants to do business in India. And therefore, it's a unique opportunity for Indian brands to actually take the brands global as well. So, all the foreign trade policies that are getting done, liberalization that is at play, free trade treaties that are coming into play, it gives a level playing field to not just Indian textiles and apparel. And like Raman mentioned previously, you have the entire buying office community, leaders here who are representing global brands, where essentially we are the factory for the world. And some of these leaders have helped establish not just Indian textile and apparel base, but they've also contributed to Asian base as well, whether it's Vietnam or Bangladesh. Now it's time for this base, which is the factory for the world, is to actually come together and not just convert global brands product into India and take the manufacturing prowess, but to add the Indian intellectual might to it and actually take the Indian brands forward. And what do I mean by it? I mean, if you look at examples where the tech industry has leaders from India, similarly, if you look at the global fashion and retail market, you would find on the sourcing side in particular, on the merchandising side, on the product development side, on the design side, you will find there is tremendous amount of Indian intellect which is in the industry. And this industry intellect is working on the brands. I mean, you have what I call as the global capability centers based in Bangalore, based in Delhi, where the international brands are doing their entire brand planning, right from a store design to product design to sourcing, supply chain, running the promotions at the front end, all of this being managed at the Indian back end. So, Indian intellectual power is driving the world brand retail ecosystem. And so, therefore, if we are doing it for the world brands, why can't we do it within our own brands and take these brands outside India as well? Of course, we have a 1.5 billion population, biggest consuming class, the highest growing GDP rate anywhere in the world, and therefore you find the entire world descending on our country to actually do business. But vice versa, there is an equal opportunity for the brands to not just proliferate within India, but to also take the brands outside. And therefore, GOS is a fantastic summit. You have retailer representatives, brand representatives coming from all over the world. So it will be a great connection and a platform for Indian brands to exchange our stories with them, look at collaboration opportunities, and this could go both ways. Understanding of market, exchange of ideas, looking at what consumer landscape is looking like. So, a tremendous platform for commerce, business, and for the Indian intellectual might. And it's time for Indian brands to go global. You definitely find Indian brands, global brands coming here for manufacturing. I think reverse is something that we need to start thinking, dreaming, planning, and of course networking and doing something about it. And this platform is a great step in that direction. So I'll hand over to Jasmine to talk more about the event and summit and what BSL agenda is. So,
Thank you. Firstly, thank you so much for joining in. I'm Jasmeet Kaur, President of BSL Vision, Media and PR Communication. Very happy to be here talking about BSL and a proud member of BSL. I also work with one of the largest sourcing company. Our world, as you see today, is going through a lot of disruption. It's a pretty complex world that we're living in today. And if you see, there are challenges coming in from consumer behavior changes, the environmental imperatives that we go through. So a lot of complex situations that we have to go through. And it's a time when, as an individual corporate, or as an individual office, or as an individual retail brand, you can no longer survive. So in that context, BSL comes into forefront, and that is the whole essence why BSL is hosting the Global Outreach Summit 2.0, portraying not only the India leader, but the expertise from the global platform. And we no longer behave and perform like competitors. We become collaborators. We sit together to have highly curated conversations around how to make India as a global leader. That is the whole idea of us hosting the BSL, US 2.0 summit. And clearly the goal is to carve the path for the future, not today. How India continues to be a leader. As Neeraj also mentioned that our competitors from Bangladesh and Vietnam are almost double the amount of business that we do out of India. I think today is the time when we carve the path for the next 10 years, the next decade. And India has to shine, India has to take the craft and our ability to really take our apparel and sourcing, the India apparel and sourcing to the world now. So that's all that I wanted to say. Thank you, Jai.
Thank you, Jasmeet. Good morning, everyone. Jatin Kashyap, Senior Vice President, BSL North, and also heading the company called Source and Global. Today, we are here for Global Outreach Summit 2.0, which is scheduled for April in Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium. So, why this Global Outreach Summit 2.0 is important? Because in India, there are a lot of, every day there are a lot of exhibition events are happening, but this is not an event. The specific part what BSL plays as a role of, accelerator catalyst in the industry, we are ensuring that CEO level discussion should must happen in this event. And the only reason is that we want the faster decisions. The world is moving very fast pace, and the world is looking at India on a different way. Now it is a time where we should come and we tell the India story. And we at BSL ensuring in this summit, we should have all the global leaders from all over the world. Almost 20 plus countries are participating in this event, and we are ensuring that one-to-one CEO level from the manufacturing side, from the brand side, from the technology side, they should collaborate so that decision making should be more meaningful towards growth of India story. As of now, we at BSL almost targeting 1,800 crores of business, which is we as a BSL already a fertility of doing buying of 35 million from across the world, I would say, sitting in India, and the association only has one of the motive to make sure India must grow in a pace. India story must go to the world, and that is what we are trying to do in this Global Outreach Summit 2.0.
I request Shilpi to.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Shilpi. I am working with BS. I'm associated with BSL in capacity of President North India. So, my colleagues have pretty much outlined what this summit is all about. Now, I will add a little bit more to that. So, essentially, a few months ago, our Prime Minister outlined his vision of 5S in terms of our industry, which is farm to fiber, fiber to factory, factory to fashion, and fashion to foreign. And with that, he also set a goal of, India being, the Indian apparel industry is increasing exponentially. Now, using that as a cue, we are looking, or we as BSL believe that we are going to be able to facilitate this industry to become a $2 billion industry, $2 billion US industry in the next 2 years. Now, how do we do that? Most of the brands that, of the global brands, have a certain image of India, that, India can do a certain kind of quantity, they can do it at a certain price, at a certain lead time. What they don't know is that with this vision that we have, India is already poised for exponential growth. We as BSL want to connect the dots for the brands. We want to show them that India is ready, India is capable, and India, there is no stopping us. We've got 7 PM Infra Parks which are already announced. The one in MP, in Dhar, the foundation has started. In MP, I cannot name the brands, but there are several large international brands which have signed MOUs already. We are talking about creating capacity in the country, compliant factories, efficient production, very, very good fast logistics, speed to market, and essentially ease of doing business. This is what countries around us, our competition has been offering, and with 38 FTAs under our belt, we are ready to offer that and much more. Technology upgradation, new freight corridors being built. We just talked about, in the news recently, we've been, there's been conversation of our own logistics platforms, containers, ports being upgraded, new ports being built. This is all of this is needed for doing this amount of business, the scale of business in India. And in this Global Outreach Summit, this is what we are going to showcase to the buyers, that this is the country where you need to look at. We do not need to think twice. We are ready. Thank you very much.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rohit Joshi. I am the Council Director for Sustainability. One of the key messages in the Global Outreach Summit 2.0 is going to be sustainability. While economic and development goals definitely need to be having a priority, sustainability goals also are important. Traditional Indian values have always promoted sustainable living, and one of the key messages in the Global Outreach Summit is going to be sustainability, whether it is renewable energy, urban waste management, water management, etc. And global partnerships will be dictated with sustainability as a cornerstone. So that's something which we are very proud about, and that is a message which definitely we would want to deliver through the Global Outreach Summit. And I look forward to everyone participating in that and being part of that. Let me just pass it back to Mr. Ramananda. Yeah.
So मैं इसको थोड़ा सा सिंपल भाषा में, हमारी देसी भाषा में एक्सप्लेन करना चाहता हूँ कि हमारी जो पंच बहन है और हमारा क्या इससे इंटरनेशनल ब्रांड्स के, इंडियन ब्रांड्स के सीईओ नहीं और इंडिविजुअली बताएंगे कि उनका अगले 2 साल का क्या प्लान है इंडिया के लिए। जैसे रेमंड्स कितना ग्रो करना चाहता है, वॉलमार्ट कितना ग्रो करना चाहता है, या ज़ारा कितना ग्रो करना चाहता है, ये ब्रांड अपनी आस्क और डिमांड जनरेट करके बताएंगे और बेस्ट सॉल्यूशंस क्या है उसको अचीव करने के लिए हम बीएसएल मेंबर्स पूरा इवेंट क्रिएट कर रहे हैं। जो पंच पहल संजय जी ने बताया, हमारी परिभाषा उस पंच पहल की बहुत अलग है। सस्टेनेबिलिटी हमारा पहला है। जितने ग्लोबल ब्रांड्स हैं उन्होंने इंडिया की सस्टेनेबल स्टोरीज को दिखाकर अपने ब्रांड में बिल्ड किए, पर इंडिया एज अ सस्टेनेबल ब्रांड, एज अ सस्टेनेबल इंडस्ट्री कभी ग्रो नहीं हो पाया जिस स्केल पे हो सकता था। तो हमारा एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट इनिशिएटिव है कि इंडिया की सस्टेनेबल स्टोरीज को हम पूरे ग्लोब में लेके जाएं और बताएं कि हाउ रेलेवेंट इंडिया इज, कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है फॉर सस्टेनेबिलिटी। सेकेंड है हमारा डिजिटलाइजेशन एंड ऑटोमेशन। तो हम इस इवेंट के अंदर सस्टेनेबिलिटी को कैसे जीरो, मतलब जीरो एमिशन पे अचीव किया जा सकता है, जो हमारी मोस्ट पॉल्यूटेड इंडस्ट्री है व्हिच इज टेक्सटाइल्स। तो हम पूरा एक एरिया क्यूरेट कर रहे हैं जिसके अंदर हम दिखाएंगे कि कैसे हम अल्टीमेट जीरो, नो वेस्टेज, नो एमिशन, नो एनर्जी लॉस को कैसे कर सकते हैं। स्पोर्ट्सवेयर और एथलेटिक्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट सब्जेक्ट है। हम कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स इंडिया में होस्ट करने वाले हैं, ओलंपिक्स के लिए वेट कर रहे हैं। तो स्पोर्ट्स कल्चर, स्पोर्ट्स प्रोडक्ट्स, इक्विपमेंट्स, ये आने वाले टाइम में लार्जेस्ट यूथ कंट्री के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। तो हम पूरा एक एरिया क्यूरेट कर रहे हैं जिसमें स्पोर्ट्स एंड प्लेजर एक इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक रहेगा। हम स्पोर्ट्स सिटी विजन कर रहे हैं कि इंडिया में स्पोर्ट्स सिटी होनी चाहिए। चौथा है हमारा डिजाइन इनोवेशन। हम इंडिया में डिजाइन के अंदर कितने रेलेवेंट है, हम कितने क्रिएटिव हैं, हमारी आर्ट फॉर्म्स कितनी अमेजिंग है। अभी हमारी कोल्हापुरी चप्पल ने पूरे ग्लोब को डिसरप्ट किया है, तो व्हाई नॉट चंदेरी, व्हाई नॉट आर्ट फॉर्म्स व्हिच कैन डिसरप्ट द होल वर्ल्ड। ये एक सॉफ्ट पावर है जो हम इंडिया से बाहर लेके जाना चाहते हैं। फोर्थ एंड द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इज ब्रांड मोबिलाइजेशन। ये एक सॉफ्ट पावर है। आज मैकडॉनल्ड्स के कारण यूएस को ज्यादा जाना जाता है ना कि उसकी आर्मी पावर के कारण। तो व्हाई नॉट रेमंड्स, व्हाई नॉट स्पाइकर, व्हाई नॉट किलर, ये जो ब्रांड्स हैं जो पूरी दुनिया में, जिवामे, पूरे वर्ल्ड में जाके डिस्ट्रप्शन ला सकता है। व्हेन पीपल टॉक ऑन द स्ट्रीट कि मैं ज़ारा नहीं, मैं तो इंडियन ब्रांड्स बढ़ावे या मैं ये पीपा खरीदता हूँ। तो ये 5 पहल के ऊपर हमारी कोई एसोसिएशन है और इसी को क्यूरेट करने के लिए पूरे ग्लोब में जाने के लिए हमने ग्लोबल सीईओज को इनवाइट किया है और बहुत अमेजिंग एंथुसियाज्म है। बहुत सारे सीईओज आ रहे हैं। जैसे अभी एआई समिट हुआ, तो आई थिंक हमारा ये जो समिट है, वी आर ट्राइंग टू क्यूरेट सिमिलर और बेटर देन दिस समिट। So this is all, and